Welcome to TCCSYP. I'm Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your weekly City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. We record every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, live on Twitch. If you can't catch us live, you can always catch us at tccpodcast.com. You can watch the video on demand on Twitch on Friday, or on YouTube, or on your favorite podcast apps. Hey, give us a like, a sub, ring the bell for notifications. You can follow us on Discord, Facebook, and Twitter. Today I'm doing a little something different than your normal Should You Pull. I'm doing, like many others, a DFFOO global tier list. Of course, my tier list is Xtreme. I'm trying not to yell because there's other people in the house. So I want to go through what I think is a tried and true tier list. Now, our good friend Black Nero on YouTube did a wonderful video. I encourage you, and I'll link it down in the notes below, to watch, called Your Tier List is Garbage. And the idea behind that is that your tier list for DFFOO is not good. Why, do you ask? Because DFFOO is always changing. The characters are not good. We just saw a post on Facebook not too long ago, actually I think today, where somebody was saying, I just started, can you give me a tier list? So someone shared a tier list, and Renea was on the very top of the tier list. Well, you can't get Renea's EX. She's not SSS tier if you're a new player. And she might not be SSS tier tomorrow, and she might not get you through all 10 dimensions N tiers, entropy tiers. This is not a player versus player game, so tier lists really aren't helpful. But because tier lists is what the people want, I thought I would come up with a tier list that might be a little bit more helpful. So let's start with S tier. Hey, S tier, the top tier, is your favorites and meta, the ones that you pull and use. Now, I shouldn't need to tell you what your favorites are. They're your favorite characters. Pull them, get all their gear, 15, 35, EX, LD, burst when they come out, and use them. Level them up, 70-70, 80-80 when that's a reality. Get good arts, do all your summon boards, and you're going to use them, you're going to build around them and find them useful. Somebody asked, well, what's meta? Well, you really know when you do it. When you have a character that's good, you know that character is good, and everybody's hyping that character. Now, we're in a point in late Chaos era where a lot of things are very, very good. So there are a lot of metas, but there are some characters that stand out, and they're the characters that you're going to hear about over and over again. We just had Snow. Even I looked at Snow, I looked at, Dissidia database, I looked at Safine's information, I looked at the infographic that the Tomberry Troop did, I saw people play Snow in the Japanese version of the game. I even have Snow in the Japanese version of the game, but not all built up. And I knew he was good just by looking at all the stuff, putting all the stuff, seeing him in content. But until you get a chance to play him and you realize, oh wow, yeah, he's really, really good. And there are always going to be characters like that are meta. And you can listen to the podcast and we'll probably tell you which characters are really good. No character is unable to be skipped upon. That's why I say S tier is favorites and meta that you pull. Let's go to A tier. Characters you luck sack and use. Every once in a while, I come across a character in the 13-ticket challenge or something else that I just pull. Karen, for example, that was one. X-Death that I was able to pick up really easy. Great characters, and characters that I probably would have had much lower on a tier list, but I pulled them, I used them, and found utility in them. So those characters that you ended up with and decided to invest in, they're pretty good, and you're going to get some use out of them. Let's go to Tier B. Now, Tier B is a special tier because I think this tier is devoted to the TCC challenge, that thing we do for every Chaos event that kind of stretches and challenges your imagination. Don't just use the synergy, don't just use the characters that cheese the fight, but find a character that kind of can come off the bench and really shine. And all of you have participated in the TCC challenge have found unique and awesome characters. This current TCC challenge, the Sync LC challenge, is finding some really creative strategies, and so that's really fun. So any character you take off the bench and use for a TCC challenge, I think is worth writing home about. Solid B tier. Let's go to C tier. Hey, C tier is all the characters you don't have. Every single tier list that I've ever seen throws characters on C, D, E, F, whatever, because they don't have those characters. And guess what? That's 100% correct. If you don't have the character, you're not going to be able to have a valid assessment of how that character is. Until you get the character in your hands, level them up, get all their gear, and actually use them in the most difficult non-synergy content, you're not going to know how good they are. So that's just C tier. It's all those characters you don't have, don't worry about. D tier. Now, D tier is also a special tier. It's favorites and meta that you didn't pull. Hey, sometimes RNG, well, it's not very nice. So, you maybe spent 800 tickets on a favorite and didn't get it. Or maybe you had to pity and you're just not real happy about that. Or maybe you invested in a character you were excited about, but they just didn't turn out. Or maybe they're not your play style. I'm really excited or excited about some of the counter characters. I skipped all the counter characters. Galuf and AIDS and characters like that, Edge. I skipped all the counter characters. Edge isn't a counter character, but anyway, I skipped all those counter characters. Gao. So I was thinking of. And then I pulled Shadow, and I love Shadow. He's so fun to play. So I'm going to be looking ahead and thinking, hey, these are characters that I might like. But maybe there's a character you pick up, and Nino's talked about it a lot. I picked up this character and they're just not really my playstyle. Yeah, they're meta, or hey, maybe they're even a favorite, but they just don't really fit for me. That goes into the D tier. How about E tier? Hey, E tier is all those characters you don't like. Like Hope. No, I think Hope's SS tier for me. He's pretty great. But those characters like Porum that I do not like at all, they would be in the E tier. And that is, well, that's whatever character you don't like. Might be completely different than the characters I don't like. And often if you look at tier lists, characters that the people who make them don't like, they get pretty low on the tier list, regardless of how good they are, regardless of how useful they are. Now, the final tier, tier F, a very special tier, and a surprise for some of you. Renea. Now, this is a kind of what-if situation in that Renea is obviously meta, and personally, she's a favorite, so she'd be an S tier for me. But, if you're really cool, like a lot of people are, and kind of a hipster, Renea is going to be trash. Because, sure she's good, but she's not. You probably wear shirts that say, this shirt is ironic, right? And drink lattes that aren't even coffee. So if you're that kind of person, definitely put Renea in and tell everybody how frustrated you are about seeing Renea all over the place and all your friends list and how bad she is. She's F tier for you. And that's what makes this extra. Well, hey friends, I'm just joking around, as you know I tend to do. Think for yourself. Global DFFOO is not a tier list game. And no matter how many tier lists are made, you're never going to find one that figures out every single event, every single character, and is able to share them. That's why we have collected at the Crystal Chronicles a myriad of content creators and resources at our disposal to give us hands-on information with characters we don't know and don't pull on and don't like, so we can try to give you the best information possible and just talk fun about the game. Now, if you want to really dig in, DecidiaInfo.com, that's our friend Macnell, wonderful resource. TonberryTroop.com, that's Teleute and Inkwelder and Vane Novus and Dreamy. That's their website. That's where all the infographics are. A lot of great stuff. DecidiaDB, that's Rem's database. Wonderful resource to check in kind of what's coming up and what characters do. Safine's database is not really a website, but it is an Excel spreadsheet. That or a Google Sheet that really gets into the numbers and that, and Safine does a great job, and she's a great player too in the JP community. And then you check the official Reddit, and there's going to be good stuff and bad stuff, but you dig through, and our friend Shara moderates that and admins that, and so check out all of those websites. And if you want different opinions, there's tons of awesome content creators who are going to teach you how to use characters, showcase the characters, and just share their opinions. And so listen, here's all the content creators I watch on a regular basis. My friend Jin Lee does wonderful how-to videos. Strafe does great work. Our friend Arrow Laley on YouTube does great stuff. Black Nero, Black Cloud on Discord, our friend does wonderful stuff. Vane Novus and Dreamy do good runs, creative runs. Shout out to Belial too. He's one of my favorite people to watch do runs. Soul DFFOO, you may know him. He does Twitch and YouTube. Broadway, the 40, the Broadway Saiyan, Josepher, Lids87, Resfina, TXB Gaming, Masaleno, Chris5248, and Drew Zane. These are all friends of ours who do great stuff, and if I forgot anybody, please shout me out so I know. I didn't share everybody who does runs. There's all kinds of people, but I try to share people who do a little bit more informative information, and so please check them out. Get your own opinion, and hey, think for yourself. Create your own tier list. Maybe you don't need to share it with everybody, but you can have fun with it and discuss, hey, is this character good? Is this character not? For the Crystal Chronicles and this TCC SYP Xtreme Global Tier List, this has been Mark, and we'll see you for episode 103 this Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard on Twitch at the Crystal Chronicles. Until then, friends, good luck, goodbye.